It's the Dondi finale. We are back here after we finally found out so much tonight. The winner of Dondi, the banker, what happened to Boston Rob, and much more. I'm Rob Cesternino, back here one more time to talk our Dondi finale here with a woman who may have been brought to tears at some points during Dondi's finale.
Yes, I can't believe that. I believe this is the second time that Dondi has brought me to tears.
What was the first?
When Rob was saying goodbye to Aaron.
Yeah.
When Aaron was eliminated and Rob got emotional about Aaron and their friendship. That was the first time. And then I'll get to what made me emotional. I don't even know. It was various things during this finale. I was about to be like, it's the final Dondi, but it might not be the final Dondi season 1.
Dondi season 1 finale. Yes. Okay. And let's bring in a guy who's been with us every step of the way. And tomorrow we'll have Dondi interviews with the Final Four. It's Chappell.
Hey, Dondi!
Dondi!
Yes, Dondi season 1 is over, but we are just getting started here on RHAP, apparently. I'm very excited to hear and to talk about kind of what is the future for Deal or No Deal Island, because I think that this podcast has been so great. It's incepted a lot of our own language into the greater Deal or No Deal universe. I see people calling it Dondi. We invented that. It started here, baby. Yes. So when all these hosts, Joe and other contestants, Rob, talk about these things and say, Dondi, you need to give us credit because we put Dondi on the map and Dondi put us on the map. We're all on the map together. I'm very excited. Let's do it.
That's our IP.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that the news got announced. We were all of us in Chicago this past week, but word came out while we were traveling that Dondi has been picked up for season 2 on NBC. So congrats to the Dondi team.
We win.
We'll be seeing more Dondi. It looks like back maybe in the same sort of time slot of January 2025 for Dondi 2.
Yeah. You know,
love to see it.
All right, but
we have to wait a year for Dondi. That feels offensive.
I mean, I guess it's like 7 months.
It's a long time, though.
7 months.
A long time. I'm really thinking
it will fly by, Chappell. I think.
Chappell,
I think it will.
Just think of it this way: we are expecting another Dondi because it'll take less than it will take for a baby to be born, and that was really the underlying storyline here tonight as we crown our Dondi winner, Jordan. Congrats to Jordan, winner of Dondi.
Happy
Very
Mother's
satisfying.
Day,
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Yeah.
She's mother. And
she's
mother.
Mother. Dondi mother.
Yes. Sort of a slow start for Jordan to the season, but I would say that was our odds-on favorite to win Dondi coming into this week.
I was talking to people. Okay, and first of all, I have to shout out all the incredible people that we talked to in Chicago. I would be walking around, and all of a sudden, I would just get a Dondi. Like everyone that came out showed up. The Dondi people are the best. So I definitely had some chats with people over the week, and I had a theory that it was going to be Stephanie. I had given up on my hopes for Rob. I know in our last recap, I love to weigh the different ways that the edit could have gone. But ultimately, I came to my senses and realized that, the cliffhanger was to give us Rob on every single episode, and that was about it. And so I had gone into this really thinking that it might be Stephanie. There were a few things that led me to that thought, and I had conversations with people about this in Chicago. The one thing was there was just like a few comments in other people's exit press that made me think, okay, the show's done. I didn't know if this person is like really like if Stephanie had won and they had lost, would they have maybe taken things worse? Because it's like You know, it's like when you hate someone gets to live your dream, you know?
They
It's
just didn't like her.
and I mean, I think it was just, you know, she had conflict with a couple people on the cast and that was it. But I just was like, some of it seemed so intense even after the fact that I was like, perhaps, you know, they didn't get the last laugh and that's what upsets them because she got the last laugh because she's the one. And then also, do you guys remember how Joe had said Stephanie has a nice life now? When we talked to
Wow.
him.
He threw you
And
off. He faked you out.
yeah, and you know what? I should never doubt him because he's brilliant. And I think that he just meant that. Obviously, he just meant that in general, but like if you want to get big brain about it, it's like, oh, she has a nice life now because of whatever briefcase she opened, whatever offer she took. So I actually, my theory going into it was that it was probably going to be Stephanie. And I was able to figure out pretty quickly into this episode that was not going to be the case as we saw. So
Okay, well, congratulations to Jordan, the winner of Deal or No Deal.
Yes.
We'll talk about how she ultimately did it, but I guess we got to pick things up with that cliffhanger, Chappell. I was not feeling good for Boston Rob coming into this. I thought he was going to beat Amy in the race.
Yeah, so I actually didn't think he was going to beat Amy in the race until I got to Chicago, and like Jenny said, the RHAP fans were they were looking, they were watching. They were like, no, if you look really closely, you can see kind of from the bird's eye view. Like they really
they're really
convinced
close.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really convinced me that this was going to be a photo finish. If not, we were going to get Rob triumphantly just hurdling her because she's small, but hurdling her in the last second and just jumping and just like coming to the finish line. We're like, yes. And then maybe we would get let down by maybe the briefcase reveal at that point. But no, Boston Rob does not beat Amy out. And we get a sad conclusion to Boston Rob's very own Spygate.
No, it's because he was looking at her answer.
Because he was cheating, like the Patriots, yeah.
Jenny, do you think did he get lost in the maze?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe he did and they didn't show it. They showed Amy getting lost in the maze, obviously. So I think it's not unrealistic that he could have gotten lost in the maze based on how like how close they were. But like the overhead shots and everything that showed how close they were, like could that have still been at a point where they were crossing in the opposite directions? I'm not sure. I didn't look at it super closely. I had such crackpot theories, as you might remember, as Joe could see who was coming, so it had to have been Rob because Amy is short.
Yeah,
which obviously did not end up being the case.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And the other thing is because of how this got edited down, you know, we see Amy come in and basically collapse immediately. It wasn't clear how much further behind Rob was.
Yeah.
Did anyone get a sense of that?
He was pounding iced tea at one point. I think he might have been pretty gassed.
To me, it was very far because we saw them get lost a lot in the maze, and he couldn't start until after the distance between the first person going in and the last person going in. And since Amy was the first person to go in, imagine how long she was running around before she. Before she figured it out. So it's like
only so many dead ends.
Right. Yeah. It's almost like once she hears what the penalty is, she's like, oh, maybe if I just, drag my feet a little bit. But also, I guess it was more determined by who came in last. And so that would have been Jordan. So yeah, I don't know. It just felt like Amy was in there forever. And so for Rob to be able to come in, essentially figure out the entire maze, do the physical portion of running the maze, get to the case, and get back before Amy, who had been in there for roughly 3 days. It just didn't feel like it was going to be that close to me. So, yeah, I wasn't shocked to see that he didn't make it out, but I was definitely disappointed because this was a good, valiant effort from Boston Rob.
For anybody who missed it, we talked with Joe Manganiello last week. Definitely check that out. Even if you've already watched the finale, still a great interview with Joe. We appreciate Joe making some time to talk with us. I wish we would have asked him about this maze. Jenny, do you think, did they go to an island that had this maze, or did they make this maze? Because
I think it was man-made. It was like hay. It was like hay bales, like built up into a wall, I feel.
It was a pretty incredible feat of engineering, I feel like.
Yeah.
they have the means. I mean,
the
they have
banker,
that
sure,
Dondi
Howie.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he might have said, you know what, if we're doing, I want this final, I guess this wasn't the final, it's the second last excursion. Let's go big. And he said, I want a big MFN maze. Because the maze made it hard to tell what was going on for the
Yeah.
viewers too. Like we said, like we see, points where they're passing each other, but when everything behind them just looks the same, it's really hard to tell like where they are in the maze.
Listen, I'm no fan of these reality TV show mazes
I
under
was
any
gonna say,
circumstances.
didn't you do one of these blindfolded or something your season, Rob? This is a cakewalk for you. This is nothing.
Yeah.
compared
You
to
can see where you're going in the maze. Oh my god.
Right. Rob's like, back in my day, and Boston Rob's like, tell me about it. Yeah, this is definitely a man-made maze, but it's huge. Like I said,
massive.
the amount of time that Amy and Stephanie were in that maze before, and Jordan, it's just like, man, they were getting lost, they were getting turned around. Obviously, there was a lot of physical portions to the maze, the hurdling of those, like, hurdles, I guess, barricades. There was a lot going on in that particular maze. I thought it was dope, and also obviously a big set piece for Dondi. But I'll say this: Dondi's challenges is the undersold part of this game show for me. We watched Deal or No Deal. We know that portion of it. They tell us we're getting Deal or No Deal Island. We assume it's going to be like some Survivor elements tied to Deal or No Deal. What it really is more like challenges, like just excursions. These excursions, it's not really Survivor. It's more like, hey, we put a bunch of physical challenges and that most people probably don't even think they'd ever try, and say, okay, throw that in there, and then you might get a chance to play Deal or No Deal. And I really enjoyed that, honestly. I didn't expect to, because normally I'm like, whatever, some challenges, cool. But this time, even the final challenge I thought was very interesting in a way to say, okay, yes, this is about luck. Yes, this is about beating the banker. Yes, it's even about social strategy. But at the end of the day, you still have to be some sort of physical threat to win this thing. And the maze proved it as well.
And these challenges were very different than Survivor. We see mazes on Survivor, but that last challenge was nothing like we would have seen on Survivor. Jenny, we had jet skis and boats and all sorts of like ATVs, and so we really incorporated like a lot of
archery.
Things. That were
Snakes.
did not feel like that they were Survivor adjacent. These challenges.
Yeah, and I tend to I tend to tune out during challenges sometimes, especially if it's something I've seen before. And we know that Survivor reuses a lot of its challenges and puzzles. But with these, the one thing I liked beyond like the physical aspects that Chappell is touching on here is that I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'll have to go beat by beat through each challenge, which we're not going to do. But I feel like every single one had some element of like risk taking and like decision making, like even down to like the archery one where they had to get the arrows out of the tree. They had to decide how many, like you had decisions on like how many of these arrows do I want to take to give myself the best shot, but I don't want to be spending so much time taking out arrows. Like it really felt like every single challenge had some sort of option to give to tie in the theme of Deal or No Deal, where you're making decisions. You have to make, there is a bit of risk and some luck involved based on the decisions you make. And I thought that was like a really fun thing about the challenges. They weren't just like, who can do insert this thing the best. And that might also be why we see someone like Rob do as well as he does in this, because it's not just physical. I think he just had like the confidence to like make some of the decisions and take some of the risks he did in some of these challenges. So that was one of my favorite things about the competition excursion design of the season. It really did tie in the whole theme of the show.
All right. Well, let's talk about Rob's elimination, and he takes it pretty well, I have to say. He seems like a good sport about everything. This was a tough hand that he got dealt, that he, got that penalty on this. Could have been a real, like, salty sport about it. And ultimately, I thought, was pretty mature about the whole thing.
He's been doing this for a while. You know, Rob's seen enough TV. He's been on enough television shows, and he knows how easy it is to come off looking really bad on TV. I think that obviously he's not going to take losing like this well, but I think that somebody as experienced as he is, who's been successful in a lot of these shows, he can really look at this one and say, yeah, I screwed that up and I need to just go ahead and own it. Because if you start to protest too much, it looks like you tried to cheat and you're not owning it and you really want to force your way into the finale, when in reality, it's like, nah, I misunderstood the rules or I wasn't paying attention and that's on me. Hey, I will bow out gracefully and still maintain, a level of dignity and like a reverence that we have for Boston Rob. If he cries about this and throws a fit about it, I'm ready to come on here and be like, boo this man, but to just be like, you know what? It was tough. I tried to give myself an edge. I didn't realize it was against the rules. My bad. May the best person win and then move on. It seems like a perfect exit for me as far as I'm concerned from one of these legends of reality TV.
Yeah, and I don't know, and maybe we'll get some insight from Rob on this, but I feel like there's maybe even an element of him where he felt a bit like he was playing with house money throughout the season, where there are a lot of like points where one thing goes slightly differently. He's potentially gone. I think that he recognizes the risk and the how quickly things can change and how some of it is random, some of it is random, and also you have to feel like coming in with the reputation you have with mostly people that are new to reality competition television shows. He saw very quickly how big the target was on his back. I think that maybe there's a part of him that's like, you know what? I did really great. And all things considered, there's a lot of universes where I don't even make it past 1 or 2 episodes. So I think that maybe he was already kind of processing and coming to peace with things. The thing that really sucks, and he does touch on this in the finale, is like, it hurts to feel, because there were so many instances throughout the season he could have just been eliminated by a single person, and that would have sucked. But he feels like he eliminated himself because of the mistake he made, ultimately being the reason he's the last in the race. And I don't know if this now is the appropriate time to get into this, but we don't ever discover what case Rob had.
Yeah.
In my notes, I literally wrote, "Show Rob's case, you cowards."
Show Rob's case.
He might have
ask
been
him, Rob.
like, yes, I suppose if he had gotten in there earlier, he gets his pick of the cases. But again, like, you have no idea what case you're bringing back.
So I do think that we're able to deduce what Rob's case could have possibly been.
Because I think that we could have been gone anyway. Or maybe was it 4 million?
The cases that we saw were 3.5 million, 3 million, 3.75 million. I feel like that Rob's case could have only been 3.25 million or 4 million.
Yeah.
It's weird either way, though, right?
Because
were there 5 cases and one
there
was
4. There was 4.
4 cases.
Amy said there were only 3.
Yeah, Amy lied.
Yeah.
She does
she
that.
doesn't care about her kids, according to Rob.
She does that. Yeah. Amy, look, I love Amy in these moments because she's trying her best to win the game. And I was like, if I'm not going to fault Boston Rob for it, I'm definitely not going to fault Amy for it. But yeah, I think there's a world where he either got the largest case and it's like, well, we'll never know, or he got 3.25 and it's like, and he would have gone anyway. We just don't know.
You had to know. Rob, he asked.
Rob, you got to ask him. You kind of have to ask him in the next interview.
I mean, we'll try to see if we can find out from there. But either way, Rob, he takes his loss like somebody who's been there before. Nice to see a peaceful transfer of power here on Dundee as Rob walks off into the sunset.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of that from Boston fans often. So, very refreshing.
Chappell, you said it.
There's only 3 left now, okay? We got Jordan.
Ladies.
We got Stephanie. We got Amy. Jordan, 3.5 million. Stephanie, 3 million. Ooh. Worst case scenario. And then Amy, 3.75 million. And Stephanie, just as quickly, is eliminated.
Yeah. They really like sped through that next part quite quickly. Like I don't even know if Rob was even out of frame by the time Amy and Jordan secure their spots in the final two, and Stephanie's right behind Rob. So
That's it.
I mean, the hooting. Can we talk about the hooting? Joe hooted.
He did. He's giving a shout out to the Night Owls. They ran the game essentially. The final 3 people were all Night Owls. The final 2.5, if you count, it depends on how much you want to give to Jordan joining at the last minute.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I feel like she was like, she was like a night owl by proxy, and I felt like there were points where she's like, I don't even really want. I'm just doing this so I don't get fined. You know what I mean? Like she's like. She's like, I'm just here.
Her heart wasn't in it.
Yeah. Well, but again, this is more about the strategy than the alliance. It wasn't like I linked up with these people because I really like them and I want to see them do well in the game. It was like, oh, if I tell y'all I'm a night owl, y'all won't vote for me. Cool. That works right into
Bring
the
me into your hierarchy here, even if I'm at the bottom, I'm there. Yeah.
Yeah.
She did the right thing. I just love. I just love that Joe was acting as if like these were the 3 original Night Owls. Yes. And I was like,
from beginning to end, the day one alliance ran the game. Jenny, damn, like give them what they deserve.
I don't think this counts as a Night Owl win. Then
it is a Night Owl win. They hooty hooed. I heard the hoodoo. I heard it. I heard it. It's official.
That was
it's canon.
It's a Jordan win.
It
is a Jordan win. Yeah, Jordan will tell. Like they're gonna call it a Night Owls win, and then when they all turn around, Jordan's like, "It was me. I did it on."
She did that on her own. She had the winning strategy of, being under the radar and tag yourself to an alliance if they want you when it behooves you.
Yeah, but I will say this about the other Night Owl: the eliminated, the fallen Night Owl in this moment, Stephanie. The show yada yada's it, but I will not. Stephanie gave us good TV. She gave us drama. She gave us this alliance. This kind of like this could have easily been the Boston Rob show from beginning to end with no opposition at all. With Boston Rob just doing Boston Rob things. And thank you to Stephanie for stepping it up and making sure that this was a hell of a season. Because although she does it, I was shocked to see that she wasn't going to be the one in the final 2.
That's
with
what
Jordan.
I'm saying.
She had such a big edit. She's been such a big character, and we almost get nothing from her leaving out. But no, Stephanie, she made her mark on this season. I really appreciated her time here.
For other people on this cast to have bring that main character energy in a very entertaining way, like you said, Chappell, this easily could have just been Boston Rob. But I know we said this to Joe, but I really feel like this. This cast really did bring it. Everyone brought it, and a lot of the conflict and the content of these episodes would be nothing without Stephanie. And I truly, truly did think going into this finale that it was her game to lose. And so I was quite shocked. I was talking about it in the edit too, where I thought Amy seemed defeated in some of her confessionals. So I'm thinking, okay, it's just gonna be Rob and Amy defeated anyway, and it's just gonna be Jordan and Stephanie. So they got me. They got me on that one. Yes, and Stephanie definitely deserves those flowers.
Let's talk about our final excursion, and this was a tough one. And I really thought, this was not a great draw. I felt like for Amy.
No, I don't think there's a ton of great jobs for Amy just because she's physically smaller than so many other people. And that's why Amy made it very clear at the beginning of the season, she needs to be sitting next to someone like Aaron. I think if she's sitting next to Aaron, she has a good chance. I feel like sitting next to Jordan, she does not have a good chance. I think maybe she might be able to, I can't remember, Stephanie's physical prowess throughout the season. So maybe she would have had a better chance against Stephanie. She would have had a worse chance against Rob. Rob would have breezed through this. But Aaron is the one that she should have been after. And I think if you watch season 1 of Deal or No Deal Island, see, that's the final excursion, your strategy changes. Because why am I not targeting Nick and Rob and Dawson? These big, tall people with long arms and stuff. No, I'm not going up against you in the final if I can avoid it. So it was very interesting to see that that's where they landed for a final excursion.
And with all due respect to Aaron, I mean, that if he got to this point, I'm not sure he gets out of the maze. And I also don't think that,
Yeah.
don't even think he's coming close to finishing this one.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. Like as much as it's not just physicality, you get to a certain point where it can be such an advantage, and I really see this play out here. But what I love about Amy, and she demonstrates in this final excursion, is that she is scrappy as hell. Like she also knows like her strengths and how to utilize them, which I really enjoy, because it's like, hey, if you know that you're not the tallest or the most physical, you have to figure out where to find your advantages. And we saw her in she got herself into the maze first, and thank God, because there was a
She needed every
situation where
second. Yeah.
she did not make it out, because she was paying attention to all the details throughout the season. She had a feeling this might come into play at some point. She knows her strengths. And then when we get to this giant rope thing, and it's basically like a tightrope walking to a golden case in the center, she gives it the old college try at first, and she quickly realizes, okay, time to get a little scrappy and a little offensive. And she realizes that the best thing that she can do is just try to make Jordan fall. And I love that about Amy. It's like, instead of just continuing to struggle and just be like, I'm not going to be able to do it, I'm not going to be able to do it, she's like, how do I switch up my plan here to just give me any edge I can? And so I applaud her on the effort that she puts out here, because she's right across from this girl she absolutely respects and loves, and she's like, if I can't get there, I'm gonna start bouncing on this rope and see if I can just make you fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great moment. One of the highlights of the finale, when Amy is trying to shake the tightrope so that
Genius.
Jordan will fall off. I thought it was going to work.
I
Yeah.
did too.
It's a decent plan, but it's really the only thing Amy can do to even the score. It's not like, oh, because we saw Amy lying to Boston Rob, oh, go over that way, there's nothing over there. We've seen her do that move a couple times throughout the season, but this is not that. This is, I cannot walk across this rope if Jordan is on it. There's no way I'm going to be able to do it. If we both start on the rope at the same exact time, once her legs get going and mine get going, the rope is going to start shaking. I will fall. I need her off the rope so I can at least get to the middle of it to try to reach for the damn suitcase or briefcase. So when she does it, it kind of looks like, oh yeah, like look at her trying to take Jordan out. But it's more like, we cannot do this at the same time. And if she's up there, I don't have a chance. So I need her to fall off so that I can then make a break for it and try to get as far as I can before she hops back on there and throws me off. It's so hard to keep your balance on these. Her arms aren't as long as everyone else's would be. So she's just at a great disadvantage. And I love, like Jenny said, seeing her at least try. She fought for her life in this game. And so it was another valiant effort from the Night Owls. Look at them.
Yeah. Famously, I think that the Survivor version of this, that there is a gif of like Angelina, like trying to like go from
Had
one
that
rope to the
flashback.
other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this did have some Survivor roots in it. And also, I do feel like that this is a challenge. I feel like that when Rob sees what this final challenge was, I think this is something that he could really ace, because one of the best things about Boston Rob has always been that from working on these like construction sites, he has like really incredible balance. There's that one challenge in Survivor All-Stars where he's just the only one that can get across like the balance beam obstacle course. Like, I feel like that this is one that he would not have a big problem with.
I do think, though, in the scenario where he makes it back before Amy, and let's say that he had a case amount that was enough to keep him in the game, and we get down to him and Jordan. Jordan is his most formidable opponent here.
No doubt.
We've seen what she can do this entire season. And so, but I think that would have been an excellent face-off between the two of them.
I do wonder if Jordan got kind of a charitable edit in the challenge, because when we spoke with Joe, he had concerns that he didn't think either person was going to be able to finish the challenge. And it didn't seem like, from what we saw on the TV show, that Jordan struggled that much. I think we saw her fall once.
Yeah.
But I do wonder how long in practice this ultimately took.
So maybe multiple falls you think happened and we're
I
edited
would
out?
suspect. Yeah.
Yeah, look,
Can only watch that for so long.
probably not. Yeah, exactly. It's not the most exciting TV to see somebody get up there and fall and get up there and fall and get up there and fall when they're not making any contact with each other. It's not like, oh, who's going to win this battle of wills? It's more like who can stand still long enough. And I do think that that's what leads Amy to just being like, go, just try and go across. I'll try to knock you off and then I'll go, because trying to go together, Joe probably yelled it from the ground, like, give her a shot, let her try it, just to kind of move this along, you guys. But I don't think Boston Rob has an issue with this at all. And I know he's at home kicking himself watching this, thinking that's what they had to do. That's it. Yeah, it makes that Spygate thing sting a little bit more.
But you know what? He has the ultimate prize of lifelong friendship with Aaron. The blessing that we all get to see their future hangouts on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I hope that Rob isn't beating himself up too much, because that's a great parting gift. I at least feel, I personally feel like, that friendship for what it gave me in my heart, and I'm not even in it.
Talk more about that, Jenny. What did it give you?
Well, it gave me tears, first of all, the aforementioned tears that I shed when Rob was saying goodbye and how proud he was of Aaron, and that brought me to tears. I don't know. I just like, it was just such an I mean, they even address it in that in their little like goodbye to Rob. Jordan, when Rob is eliminated, Jordan speaks up immediately and says, I really admire your mentorship of Aaron. Like, we, all feel hopeful that we can have that impact on another person. And I feel like that's really true. Like, we've seen Rob in alliances with people in other games where I just don't see the pureness and the like fun of the friendship that he had with Aaron. It was such an unlikely duo, and I truly feel like it was such a big theme of the season. And I'm so glad we got to see everyone back. This is one of the other things I was hoping for is in this finale, was that we at least get to see everyone's faces back at the Bankers Temple. Got to see Rob and Aaron sitting next to each other in the peanut gallery. Like, so to see that come full circle for me, that was a joyous moment for me.
Okay. We would get to see everybody's faces one more time at the Bankers Temple. Yes. But first, we need to go and meet the banker. And we've been teasing this all season long. Last week in the previews, we're going to reveal the banker. We're going to reveal the banker. Who could the banker be? And it was the banker is who we thought he was.
I don't know. Y'all turned me around last podcast. I thought it was Pitbull. I was sure it was Mr. Worldwide. Thought he was coming, dropping off the hotel, the helicopter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Uno, two, three. I was like, okay. It's probably Howie, but what if it is Pitbull? So I did hold out hope, but it was Howie, and nobody's shocked. Nobody's surprised.
Who has more money? We didn't even do the net worth
game of?
Yes. I feel like it's got to be Howie, right?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not sure how much we should ask known Pitbull pro Taryn Armstrong. Okay. That's a deep cut for literally 5, not 5 people.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Jenny. Okay. I'll give you. How about this game? You can play along at home. Okay. I'll give you either Howie Mandel or Pitbull, and then you tell me if the other person is higher or lower. Who do you want to hear first?
So you're gonna give me the number of someone's net worth?
I'll give you one or the other, Howie or Pitbull, and then all you do is tell me if the other is higher or lower.
I will be terrible at this game, just to preface this, because I truly have no.
How about this?
I have no concept of the value. So
you pick,
Chappell?
and I'll give Chappell higher or lower.
Okay.
Oh, no. I'll pick, how did I get in this?
give me Pitbull's net worth to start, and then Chappell can decide.
Pitbull net worth, according to celebritynetworth.com. Okay.
That's a source.
Celebritynetworth.com says, hold on. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I'll tell him. Okay.
All right.
This is a legitimate phone call.
Okay. All right, so I just got off the phone with CelebrityNetWorth.com.
Okay.
Oh wow.
They say,
What service?
Mhm.
okay, I'll tell you, they also say Pitbull's height is 5'6". So if you feel
Ooh.
like that is reputable or not,
Who's taller, Howie or Pitbull? I have questions.
I think
now.
Howie is.
Howie's got to be
they
taller
say
than Pitbull.
Pitbull's net worth is $100 million.
$1 million.
$1 million.
He's back, baby.
Okay. All right.
Full circle.
All right, Chappell.
Hmm?
Howie Mandel, the banker himself.
Okay, Jenny, Peanut Gallery.
I don't have any idea how much money I have. Like,
You know who I- Yeah, same. You know who I won't ask?
I don't
Claudia.
know, to be honest.
I'm gonna go higher for Howie Mandel.
Higher for Howie Mandel?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he's not gonna like that. Okay.
Oh.
You made a bad deal.
Damn.
According to Celebrity Net Worth, Howie Mandel worth $60 million.
Broke ass.
Okay,
See,
so
that's
it's
what I'm
not-
talking about.
It's not a huge. I mean, it is. It is literally $40 million. Is
Mhm.
but when I heard Pitbull's net worth, I was like, okay, maybe Howie's lower. And then I started thinking about it because I was like, what is Howie doing? Like, I mean, Pitbull is he's still doing stuff. And not to say that
Yeah, he's
Howie
out there.
isn't, but it's like, I just don't know. Do you make more money in music compared to like, television
Mhm.
contracts and stuff like that? What else does Howie do besides like
TV hosting?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
does
that's
he
his
have any
thing.
other
His
side
bag.
gigs?
Investing. He's
Investing.
the banker. I mean,
He is a
he's
bank.
obviously
Yeah,
a
he is a
banker.
banking
Mhm.
professional.
He works in banking. Yeah,
Works
that's
in
why I
banking.
thought
He
he
has
had
his
more.
own island.
Yeah.
So
He does.
tourism.
Yeah.
Comedian, actor. I don't know if he does stand up still.
Oh, also he's
Producer.
Canadian, so
Yes.
the
Yeah.
conversion rate.
Oh,
I was
that's-
set up. Okay,
Yeah.
my
That,
bad.
I
didn't
should
even-
have pointed that out. I know
Right, it's
that.
basically
like,
monopoly money in the Great White North. Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is different.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So there you go.
I'm feeling
all
it
right.
after Chicago.
But yeah, I have to say though, I did like this new villain heel turn for Howie
Oh.
as the banker. This is Howie Mandel, as I've never seen him before. Now they don't give us any of the lore of if Howie Mandel was the banker, who was the banker when Howie Mandel was hosting the show, or
Don't worry about it, Rob.
Was it
Doesn't
sort
matter.
Of, yeah, I don't know. Was it sort of like one of these to bring it back to Joe Manganiello, like one of these like in Spider-Man when like the Green Goblin is like talking to himself? Is that what it is?
It's the Spider-Man meme. They're pointing.
I
at
was
each other. It's like,
just
you
about
the
to say
banker,
that. I'm like, let's speak in the terms I know. The meme where there's Spider-Man's pointing at himself.
Yeah. So we don't know. We don't get any of those answers. And that question is not asked. And I even went back and I watched some old Deal or No Deal, and you see a shadowy figure lurking about. They don't say unless that guy died and then Howie became the banker.
No, that's the guy who's the banker if Howie's not available to be the banker himself.
Got
now,
it.
Howie
Got it.
Howie
To
was
throw everybody
hosting
off.
that show.
Yeah.
Exactly. Howie was hosting that show, so he needed to stand in. This time,
The
Joe
greatest
was
trick
the
the
host.
banker ever did was make you think that other guy was the banker.
Right.
And that's
it's-
how you
it's-
you're beloved as a host. You have to play good cop and bad cop, and it's all him, baby. You know what I mean?
That's-
He gets to be Howie the host while he's the same guy with the knife to your back. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
it's genius.
Jenny, that means in my mind, in my logic from there, because obviously this all makes sense mathematically, especially when I'm talking. That means Joe Manganiello is the banker for Deal or No Deal proper. Right?
I
And
mean,
they just
people were
switch spots.
asking.
Right, they just switched spots. So Joe is the host for this one, and Howie's the banker. But originally, Howie's the host, and Joe's the banker.
Okay.
See, it's right
So
there,
you're
y'all.
saying
This is-
Joe is the original
Yes,
banker,
the OG
okay.
banker,
Wow.
And
And
they
just
switch it
switched.
out.
Yes, it's
And
like,
they both
like-
play good cop and bad cop because they have depth.
Precisely.
They have that
Yes.
breadth of
This
talent.
range. Honestly,
Range.
I think we
The
figured
range
it
is
out.
ranging.
Get Joe back on the podcast right now. I have so many
Yeah, let's
questions.
talk.
now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So Howie Mandel, he
It had to be Howie. It had to be.
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
But he has like some tense like back and forths with Jordan where that does like he asks like do you have what it takes to go all the way? And she's like, I think so. He's like, I don't think you do.
Yeah. Sorry. Actually, no. Bring back Amy.
I mean, the trash talk.
I don't
Chef's
see it.
kiss. Like, he's trying to shake her. He's like, I gotta send this. I gotta send her in, like, lacking confidence. Desperate to make a deal.
Or at least hype her up. I know Howie's been watching this entire season like we haven't been like, Jordan, do something, say something, make an alliance, do something.
That's not her
she's just
fault.
kind of been like, no, but she's just been kind of just like even
Yeah.
keeled. I think
He called her a
he
floater.
He does. And so that's what I'm saying. It's not just the edit. Howie was there and he called her a floater. So that means Jordan's been doing a really good job of kind of staying level, playing all the sides, not saying anything to rile anybody up, staying really measured. And Howie's coming in like, come on, Jordan, get up. Come on, do something. Let's go.
Yeah, shake it up. Let's go.
Yeah. And so Jordan's got a game face on because of the way Howie is coming at her with some of this trash talk. I liked it.
Okay.
And if you're Jordan, you have to be like, oh, you want me to do something? Well, I'm here to do the biggest thing, and it's take your MFing money, sir. Get ready to write a check. Like, I would have loved to just see a little bit more of that, but I think that Jordan is just too pure of a human.
Got it. Yeah,
he's literally just so sweet. But man, as someone who's seen Howie Mandel be the wonderful host and pure, like, supportive guy that he's been in his various hosting duties, I loved that he got to play bad cop. He was really fun.
Jenny, what do you think of Howie's new banker look?
Oh yeah, bad boy banker chic. Like, the hat, I loved it. Like, honestly, he was serving the whole episode. It was great, and I hope that this isn't a one-time only thing. Like, I hope.
Yeah.
We know who the banker is? Like, are we going to? We're at a different banker's island next season.
No.
It's a whole, like, you got to give us Howie next
Gotta
season too, because I'm so invested in his villain arc now. So.
Mm-hmm.
But the look, yes, he came prepared. I swear to God, Dondi is where you become island hot.
Right.
I just feel like everyone. Maybe because they were not suffering like you do on Survivor.
It's just you normal with like a tan.
Just like and like were the guys shaving? I'm always like, once the facial hair starts happening, then I'm like, okay, I'm listening. But maybe they did shave out
some
there.
Chest shaving going on.
Oh yeah, perhaps. But I just felt like everyone's looks out there were just so good. Everyone was looking really, really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Banker's Temple here, where the whole cast is reunited. Boy, now, Chappell, I'm like dying to know, what was Dondi Ponderosa like?
Right. I didn't even think about that. Dondi Rosa was probably the move.
Dondi Rosa.
Yeah, because these people hate each other. A lot of them were very upset when they got eliminated from the game. Very few
when
people.
Alyssa got back to Dondi Rosa.
Give us the footage, baby. Come
on. Yeah. Or even Branson as the mayor of Dondi Rosa, just
Chappell,
waiting on everybody to show up.
With Kim Matina and find out what happened at Dondi Rosa.
Oh, I'm about to slide into her DM shortly and just be like, Kim, Matina, tell me everything. I need to know.
3 hours or I'm not listening.
Yeah, look, we're gonna get
Dondi Rosa deep dive.
Yeah, look, the postseason Dondi coverage here on RHAP could be iconic. Claudia Jordan and Kim Matina. Maybe I'll stage a reunion between the two of them. Yeah, I'll tell them both we're doing a deep dive, but I won't tell them both that they'll both be there. And then they get there and they're like, wait a minute.
They're listening to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not listening. Stop it. Anyway, if you are listening to this, meet me here at the same time next week. You're definitely
scratch
by
that
yourself.
idea. Yeah. Definitely not doing it. Wink.
But you're definitely by yourself, Kim and or Claudia. No, I have a lot of questions. I didn't even think about the idea that they were all spending time to each other once the show was over. Like, it just, I don't know why this felt like a show where they sent everybody home. And I
was
don't know.
hoping for it.
Yeah, like I thought they were at home, kind of just seething, waiting to find out the results. But no, they get to come to the finale. They knew who won and everything. This was kind of cool.
Yeah, and they all got them there. And, we had said last week it was going to be a little bit low energy if they didn't have them there. So I was glad. And there was no sort of cutoff of like, okay, these people are on the jury. So was Branson there?
Branson was there.
Yeah, I didn't catch him on the
that's
show.
my dog.
But yeah, so
no, I was looking for everyone.
they brought them all back, and now okay, let's see Jordan play Deal or No Deal. Okay,
Rob, you didn't even mention the main attraction.
What's the main
Ben
attraction?
and Kamari. Oh my God, these people are so beautiful. I was like,
the black outfits.
Right, where do I get my tickets to Challengers? I'm trying to see what this be like. I'm trying to find out what's going on Banker Island. I said, I don't know, y'all. I clutched my chain. I said, oh, well, okay, y'all looking TF good. Okay, all right,
like
about to pull up.
Yeah.
I believe Ben and Kamari look that good all the time, but what I'm still saying, like on the island, especially with the coordinated outfits, like with the tan glistening, like it's the studio lights, but like the sweat. I don't know. Okay, I'm getting weird.
I'm getting hot. Yeah, no, I'm getting hot. Don't stop, Jenny.
You
Talk
get
slower.
it. You get it.
Slow it down. Woo. I'm sorry. Look, take it back. If y'all go look at the interview I did with Ben and Kamari and just see how starstruck I was looking, because I mean, my mouth was on the floor, I was drooling everywhere. The sexy people on Bankers Island. Yeah, I was like, oh, there's money involved in this too. I probably would have just lost the game. I was just very distracted by all the sexy in the background.
Chappell, you got to stay focused, man.
It got hot. Sorry.
All right. So, all right. Everybody gives Jordan her flowers. Here she is. This is interesting, Jenny, that we're sort of like that the game has been won, that we don't really have this on any other shows. And now everybody's here together, and now we're here to like watch like the bonus round.
To see, well, it's basically like seeing how much money the prize is going to be. Like she's won. She's already won. She will walk away with some money. It could be a penny because that was the lowest case there. But you know, and it was really more so of a celebration than like an ultimate, you know, where a lot of these shows, the last portion of the show is sometimes the most contentious. You know, we've got jury like questioning and speeches and people getting their time to like call each other out on like how they did this. And I'm sure that there were conversations had, but they were probably all had at Don Rosa because no one's mad at Jordan. Which is why it was like, you know, I think it was like a feel good winner because literally everyone there
nobody was like
had a good relationship with Jordan. You know, we see Aaron, you know, Aaron says it best when, you know, Jordan walks out and she's like, I'm so proud of everyone. I'm so humbled to be here. And Aaron's like, you're one of the kindest, most respectful people here. And this is a super deserving winner. So, you know, it's good if you're like a little bit of a softie like me and likes the camaraderie of it all and seeing the whole cast come together and like hype her like up. But if you want the fireworks, then can you imagine what we would have seen if like, you know, because I think maybe Stephanie had, we know with Alyssa, like if it's Stephanie up there, Alyssa's like not giving any input on any cases. And she's like, I hope you have the 1 cent. And I think that there was still like maybe some bad blood between Stephanie and Claudia. We don't know how much time has elapsed at this point. So I think it could have been a lot spicier, but it was a fun celebration to see them all work together. Because it does really become like a team sport at this point, even though I don't know if you know, when the cameras weren't watching, Jordan's muttering like, you know, if you pick a case that's low, I'll send you something nice in the mail.
Whoa.
I don't know.
We don't know.
Jordan seems like a giving lady. I'm just saying.
Jordan goes with case number 19 is her case. Okay.
Yes. Because it was her husband's college baseball number.
And we get into the deal or no deal game. Chappell, would you be one of the people that would say like, hey, I've got a strong feeling, pick this number?
No, I'm not putting my finger on this scale at all because you're not about to blame me. Because they're like, let's go with number 1 for Claudia. Okay, good answer. Claudia, you good with that? Yeah, I am number 1. Okay, cool. We'll go with Claudia. Okay, Claudia, open number 1. Get to the penny. It's a penny. Ooh, $1.5 million. Sorry. I was like, no, ain't nobody ever gonna look back and be like, Well, had I not picked 7 for Chappell, I would have probably like, nope,
Mhm.
you do
They
you.
curse
You
you for the
made
rest
it.
of their life.
Right, you made it. I learned that at a very young age. My grandmother, she likes to go gamble. She likes to play bingo. That's her thing. And when I was younger, she would take photos of her grandkids as well, like for good luck. But if she lost bingo while she had your photo with
Oh my
her, you
God.
were dead to my granny. Like she would dead ass be like, "Don't talk to me." And so I very quickly was like, "Well, just give me my photo back, hell, since you don't know how to act.
You're off the
You're not gonna
roster.
be right." Like I just took my stuff back. And me and my granny ain't never had a bad day in my life. But my sisters, hell, my dad, they was not on her good side all the time because she lost and she blamed them. Ain't nobody
That's a lot
blaming
of
me because they
pressure.
lost Deal or No Deal Island. No, I'm sorry. If your banker's
Yeah.
deal is not up to your liking, it's because you picked somebody else's number. Maybe Rob and Jenny can help you, but
No,
Chappelle cannot.
I'm not getting involved. Well,
No,
what
no.
am I? Psychic?
Yeah, look, you maybe you good luck, Rob.
I'm the amazing Kreskin. I know what's in the suitcase, so trust me.
I'm
See,
just saying.
and that's the thing is like it is arbitrary. But I am one of those, like, I don't know, because I've never been in a scenario like this, and I will never be in a scenario like this. I don't play the lottery. I don't do anything that involves putting my faith in numbers to get some sort of monetary prize. But I am a vibes person. I am one of those people where I'm like, I just
Mhm.
have a feeling about this. There's something about this that is speaking to me. I don't know if in this case that with cases, literal cases, that I would feel that way, but I also kind of get it. I mean,
Wow.
I don't know. Well, there was
Chappelle, don't you think Jenny maybe should go out for Dondi too?
no.
Oh my God, no.
I
I'm
would
sorry.
die.
I love
And
Jenny
they're not
so
even
much.
suffering.
I love Jenny so much, but the first time they say, "Jenny, which case do you want?" We'd have to go get her. We'd have to go get her off the island because she's not choosing. She's gonna
I'd
be
say
like,
someone else decide.
yeah, she's like, "No, I'm good, thank you." And then she'd have to eliminate somebody. What? Bring back my Jenny.
Oh my
Jenny,
gosh.
come home.
Mhm.
Come home to hit her quick. Where you? This is home. Don't do that.
Although, unless someone crossed me really badly first, then that's
Yes.
that's the thing about me is that like I am a soft little baby. We know this. But you have to sometimes be careful of the soft little baby. You know,
Yeah.
if you
No,
hurt
Jenny's a killer.
them, that's when you gotta watch out. So I can see a situation where if someone took the first shot and wronged me, I will have no issue eliminating them in that case.
Mhm.
But you
Yeah.
don't want to be the first person up there and no one's done anything to you. You don't want to be Jordan and like, because that's the thing is like I'd probably be playing a Jordan game. Let's be real, except for like less physical. I would be like Amy height and then like Jordan gameplay.
Jordan game.
Yeah.
But Rob, you would be really good at the Jordan game as
Oh.
well. You would be very good at just kind of like just going in, getting that money and not making anybody mad. Rob, this kind of feels like something we need to sign you up for.
Well, look, I think that I would have the problem of that, people, if nobody knew that I was on a TV show once, and many people don't. that might be a newsflash to some people who are listening to the podcast. If I could go in as a civilian somehow, like I think I could do okay.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would have any proclivity for being good at the Deal or No Deal game.
No, but no one's targeting you anytime soon. But Jenny, here's my thing with Rob. I think Rob would get bored. And then that little like evil person in the back of his mind would start to be like, I wonder if I could pitch you two against each other. Because he like a little mess. That's why he keeps us
I
around.
don't want it to be a boring show.
See,
yeah.
look at him.
No,
look
we
at his eyes
don't.
like
We
that.
don't. Yeah, no, and we know that Rob has the the pot ready to be stirred. I know that you've got that in you, Rob. I mean, I don't know how I could cover you on television at this point. It would put me into some sort of crisis because I am I'm baby, but I'm also like mama bear as well. Like, and I would be so like anyone looked at you wrong,
Well,
I'd be like,
tell me how the goat goes also, and maybe that's my spot.
The goat.
Maybe that's his spot.
I mean, so far. I'll tell
Yeah.
you one thing.
What?
The challenges are not they don't have a giant man-made maze. It's
Okay.
mostly
No.
dollar store. It's giving buddy games props.
Oh,
Giving
okay.
little bit.
sequester.
Okay.
Giving. I'm sorry.
Sequester.
All right, so we open a bunch of cases, okay, and it's going okay. You know, not incredibly well, but
Middle
not
of the
also a
road.
disaster.
Yeah.
First deal comes out, real lowball offer from Howie Banker, $203,000.
The 13 million is still on the board. What is this deal? There was 8 cases higher than that number left.
There was 15 minutes left in the show still. Come on.
Well,
let's
well, we got to make a deal, but we don't want the show to end that early. Yeah.
What if Jordan takes the first deal? It's just like, I've made it this far, not making waves.
Is a lot of
60K
money.
does change my life, at least for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll take it. No, she's always going to turn that deal down. You got to give us something to play with.
Yeah. All right. We open up a couple more cases, and then we get a second deal, $607,000. Okay. And Howie's really trying to sell this. Banker Howie is like really talking this up. This is a house. This is a kid. This is like, I don't know about that, Howie.
I mean, where?
Right.
I guess so.
It is a house.
Yeah.
Does it say which type of house or how luxury that house
Maybe
is?
on the Banker's Island, you could buy a house and like raise a kid also.
Yeah, like maybe that is a possibility. I don't know that is what Howie is offering here. But oh man, like that. The other thing, and this is one of the things that made me emotional in this finale is that like when Jordan says she wants to have children, it's not like I need to have enough money to take care of a child. Like she has PCOS and that, causes a lot of fertility issues, and she wants to have many children, and that, fertility measures are extremely expensive. And as a person with a fellow disease that also causes fertility issues, I don't even want kids. And I was emotional listening to how this is going to impact her life, and seeing Amy be like, being a mom is like the greatest thing in my life. And I'm so happy that this is going to mean that that you're going to get to live that. So when Howie is like playing bad cop and being like, that's a kid, I'm like, how you better step back. We were friends a second ago, but now I'm Mama Bear to Jordan here, where I'm like, it is like very, very complicated. How she's doing the math here. And that's why this Deal or No Deal game is different than everything they've been doing up until this point, because she's actually sitting there being like, I will get this money. And she starts doing the math of like what that could do and how that could change her life. Yeah, maybe she can't get a house and have kids, but she's definitely knowing that that's going to make her main goal of starting her fertility journey and starting her family a reality. So I can see how the first offer, no, you can't take that first offer, but I can see the gears start turning for Jordan at this point, and where she's like, that's guaranteed money for me, and that will actually change my life.
Yeah. But there's $6 million plus cases left in the game, and only 5 that are less than $1 million at that point. Like, it's pretty even. Yeah, go ahead. What's the worst that could happen? It can go down maybe like $50,000. Like, it's not gonna plummet if you knock out 2 more cases that are even above $1 million, or like, chances are you get rid of the penny, the $10, and then you're like, okay, maybe we got action. So
especially because there's only 3 at this stage. There's only 3 more cases for the next round, right? So it is kind of a no-brainer. But like, it's so hard to turn down that money, right?
Sometimes you get in these Deal or No Deal games, like, all right, you pick 8 more cases, and like things could really go sideways. But that didn't really seem like that was going to be the case here. Jenny, did you like it when was it Amy that suggested pick case number 10 for all the Libra girlies that made it to the final 3?
I did not realize that they not only were the final 3 all Libras, they're all specifically October Libras. I, on the other hand, am a September Libra, but I love all Libras. So I felt like that was for me. I was like, that's really cute.
Was Jordan giving Libra energy for you this season,
Yes.
Jenny?
Oh my gosh. I mean, being the floater, being the person that wants to be in good with everyone, doesn't want to ruffle any feathers, is like the social queen, and a little underestimated. I definitely see that for Jordan here. I do think that she did play a Libra game. So
okay, let's go with this third deal that comes up. Okay, we get a third deal from the banker. Okay, biggest deal in the history of Deal or No Deal, $1,197,000, and this is the first deal that really leaves the jury or the players who are sitting in the stands a little split. Joe asks, how many people here would take this deal? And I think we get 4 people, that's it, including Boston Rob.
Yeah.
And here Rob says, okay, this is a car and a house.
Now it's a car and a house.
Now it's a car and a house. Okay.
Yeah.
1.2 million. This is more money than you get winning Survivor. Okay. Chappell, are you taking $1,197,000?
Okay, so it is tough because that is a ton of money, right?
Yes.
It's a ton of money. Essentially, I think you have to pick 2 more cases if you don't take the deal. So you could easily knock off the 13 mil, knock off the 5 mil, and be left with, just, pennies, literally a penny, $10, $25, $75, $1,000. But I still think you have to turn this deal down. I think you have to, because as long as $13 million is there, you have to take.
I think that's it. I think that's it. I think that you have to, if 13 million is still on the board, and not necessarily that you're playing it to whittle it down to I have $13 million in my case, but as long as $13 million is still up there, you're going, and there are other high numbers. I think you have to keep playing until 13 million is off.
Yeah,
I agree.
Keep the offer high, at the very least,
Rob even says it, like Rob lays out the risk and the reward situation that Jordan's faced with at this particular point in the game, where he says, if you hit the third, because I think did you have only 2 more cases to do after this?
She did.
Or 3 maybe.
2
2. And so it's like, if you hit the 13, it'll go down, which that's not necessarily.
And it didn't.
But if you keep the 13 in, that could double. And like the idea that not only could it be the case that you have, but you could just get a higher offer available to you by virtue of the fact that it's still in the game, like that's pretty appealing. So even though Rob's one of the 4 that raises his hand, he kind of outlines why you got to keep going here.
To me, you only have to open 2 cases. There are 3 that are more than $1 million. So even if you open 2 out of the 3 cases and they're both more than $1 million, the banker's deal is not going to plummet, because you could still make at minimum $4 million. And so it's like, yeah, he has to offer you at least $1 million. So it's not going to go down that much more. Like the only horrible scenario is this. But if you have to open 3 cases and all 3 of them are the $1 million+ cases, because that leaves you with your next highest case being $1,000. So at that point, the banker can give you $2,000 and it's a good deal for you. But as long as $4 million is the lowest other option, yeah, why not keep playing? So you open 2 cases and see what happens. Like this was, again, another no-brainer for me. Because what do you lose if you open both of the highest cases? It's only going to go up a little bit or down a little bit. But if you leave all 3 of the $1 million cases in there, like let's say you do 2 of them and you get out the penny and $10. Oh, at that point, yeah, this bad boy is doubling at least. So yeah, I'm with everybody else here who does not raise their hand. I don't take this deal. You got to go for it. It's only 2 cases.
And turns out that even after wiping out 13 million off the board, that it turns out that we get an offer that's actually higher, $1,230,000, and this time Jordan says, "I'll take it. Deal."
Which is the right thing to do here,
Yes.
even though Amy whispers, I would keep going, but I'm so psycho, which gave me a good laugh.
Mhm.
I want to ask about this because Rob looks shocked when he hears the offer of $1,230,000. And, we think that because Jordan gets rid of that $13 million case, and then didn't she get rid of another high case in that round there? You would
Mhm.
think that maybe the offer would have gone down, but it's only just a little bit higher than her last offer. I am not enough of a numbers person or a deal or no deal historian to know, was this normal? Was this like, hey, we're going to give this woman
Yeah.
an offer that she will feel good about, and we don't want to go down from here. Like mathematically
No.
with the numbers, did this make sense? Because I just thought that Rob was surprised.
I think it did. That there, as the number of cases goes down, so too does the probability that she has still one of the other. And there were other, and I don't have it all written down. There were other
I
like
got you,
high.
baby.
You got it? Yeah.
Always,
Oh.
I got you. Listen, so it makes sense for the offer to go up, or at the very least stay the same. Because even if you take the 13 million off, she still has $5 million and $4.5 million, right? Those are the two cases that are above the 1.2 that she has. There's 4 cases below it. But making that number drop does not take away from the fact that you're essentially paying her $1.2 million to walk away from $5 million. And that's what the bet is. It's the odds that you have 5 million and the 4 million are so high at this point that I need you to walk away from it. And making the number go down would only incentivize her to stay in.
And Jenny, had the $13 million still been on the board, like this offer probably would have been like $3.2 million or something like that. So that the offer for at this point definitely went down a lot from what it would have been.
What it could have been.
Like at this point in the game with those numbers there, the offers go up a lot at this point.
I think because again, like I really only watched, Deal or No Deal when I was young and even dumber than I am now. And I've never been a numbers person, but when Rob said, like, if you hit the 13, it'll go down, in my head, the offer will go down from what it is right now. Because she was doing the math where, 1,197,000 is like 100% life-changing money and more money than they've given out before. So I was like, okay, it must go down from there. But she ends up getting like a very, very slightly higher deal. So I thought was this like a little bit of like, okay, we're going to give you
throw you
this.
a bone. Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't sure.
The way I look at Deal or No Deal proper is that the banker is essentially buying you out of your case. Yeah. And so making the number go down just is only going to make her say, okay, well, if it's back down to $600,000, then okay, might as well. I mean, I might as well see if I got the 13 mil.
That's
you want her to say,
putting it.
You want her to say, no, it's not worth it to find out if I have the 13 mil because I don't want that number to go down. And I think that, with $4.5 million left and $5 million just hanging out, you're like, whatever, roll the dice, see what happens. Because I haven't pulled it yet. It might be me. We find out that it's not her. But the banker, she essentially took a good deal. It's just, I think, Jenny, the thing is that we shift our thinking at this point to Deal or No Deal proper versus Deal or No Deal on the island. Because on the island, we're just like, take the best odds at you beating the banker's case, the number. Whereas here it's like, no, run it up. Try to get as much money as you can because it's the last.
Because you're getting that money now.
This is your prize money. So why not?
Yeah.
Okay. So congratulations to Jordan, winner of $1.23 million. And
I'm so glad her
excited.
Case was lower.
Yeah, and her case was what, 1,000?
1,000. It didn't matter that, she was getting the money regardless of whether she made a good or bad deal, but it made me happy that
she had a good case if she was going up against the banker all throughout the season of Dondi.
Exactly. This is where everything changes. But I, for her to sleep at night, it made me feel better that she was, able to be like, hey, if I'd kept going and ended up with my case, I only would have had $1,000.
Yeah. Okay. So we actually got an epilogue for Dondi.
5 months later.
Yeah.
There's a
I was wondering, so I'm glad
baby.
that they gave it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Jordan
is
and
this
her
is this
husband.
current? Is this now?
I don't know. I don't know if
Because we don't know
we
exactly when this filmed.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Like both, I guess.
yeah, when the epilogue filmed as well, right? I guess we could go to Jordan's Instagram and see if there's a
Mhm.
baby present.
I feel like she's probably not going to openly post about that. Well, maybe not.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
I'm about to say that might be a spoiler, don't you think, for a
Mhm.
Deal or No Deal? Like it's like, oh well, she has a baby, so maybe she won a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Same.
I mean, yeah, I guess she could anyway, but it's like if that's a part of her edit and how she talks about why she wants the money, then
Mhm.
when did this film though? That's what I'm curious about. We didn't
So-
really get insight
so
on
I'm
ahead.
looking at Jordan's Instagram page right now.
Okay.
And currently there are no baby spoilers. So yeah, no information
Okay.
about when new baby is arriving or set to arrive or has arrived. So Jordan's been keeping it pretty close to the vest.
Yes.
Or but yeah. Big news, she did it. I don't know, like you said, what the filming time was on this. But
Baby
I
could be
think
here already.
the
Who
baby
knows?
could be
Okay,
here.
yeah,
And
well,
it'd
we
be a
don't
great
know.
baby.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, a wealthy baby.
Okay. And there you have it, Dundee.
Dundee.
Look at us, we did it.
Dundee.
We did it. All
Yeah.
12 episodes. We were all here.
It was so good.
Mm-hmm.
So
What
much
a wild
fun.
ride. What a wild ride for Dundee.
No, this has been
Like,
fun.
Remember when we were like, let's it's hit or quit, okay?
Right.
You know, we just
Well,
check
hey,
out a
we'll
new
quit, yeah.
show.
Deal or no deal?
Deal or no,
Yeah.
it's literally the deal or no deal of
Podcast.
reality TV podcasts, I guess.
Yeah.
And we thought look at this silly little show. Boston Rob's gonna be there. Let's watch. And Rob, you were here saying I'm only gonna watch as long as Rob's on.
Did I lie?
He was on every
did
episode that you
not
podcasted
lie.
about. That is
Mhm.
correct.
But
That is correct.
I think that, I think we were all very pleasantly surprised by how much we enjoyed
Mhm.
this show and the journey that it took us on, that I'm willing to say that maybe Rob wouldn't have even quit if
Yeah. Well, we got Dundee
hard to
too
say.
coming up next year.
exactly.
Yeah, are you in, or does Boston Rob have to come back for you to be
No,
able to
I'm
do
in for
Dundee too?
Dundee too to be there.
The whole time? Like, have you?
He's
are
not
you-
gonna make
have you
any
been
promises.
converted?
Look, you'll
Yeah.
have to talk to my agent. I'm
Get-
not allowed to
get-
say yes to things without talking to the grown-ups.
Who's
I
your
blocked
banker?
Scam already. I already
Mhm.
blocked him. Listen, we don't need to ask him anything. But here's the thing, Rob. You had a good time. You're a Dundee convert. There's like so many.
Yeah.
I think so many people saw us really just preaching the gospel of Dundee
And
this
the
season.
audience
Yeah.
was great. We got so much support
So
from the
great.
audience that the numbers were really good for our Dundee coverage. All of the feedback was really great. So there was a lot of buzz about Dundee, and I really appreciate everybody who came along with us on the ride.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. It was like that makes it fun
Mhm.
to talk about it, to know that everyone is as amped to watch the episodes and listen to what my silly ass has to say. I have no idea how anything works.
Okay.
Me and you both.
It's
okay?
really
Me and you
fun.
both.
We
You just explained it all.
I only understand that portion of Dylan.
Nah, you're downplaying. Chappell for Dundee season 2. He's
Oh.
Stop it. Rob's been trying to sell me off to the banker all season, and I'm not going for this.
I would be worse if you were out there. No offense, Rob, but I would actually be an
I never tried
emotional
to do
wreck.
that. I never did that.
You are
I don't
lying.
know what goes on that island. I did not do that. Do not put that out there.
Mm.
Okay. All right. We have big exit interviews coming up on Tuesday. Scheduled
Yeah.
to talk to all 4 of the Dundee finalists.
Yes, I will be talking to our winner Jordan, our runner-ups Amy, and then Stephanie, and then of course Rob. You will be joining me to talk about Boston Rob's game with the BR Rules himself, Boston Rob. I'm very excited. I've never talked to Boston Rob before. That's going to be so nerve-wracking for me, but also so happy to talk to these other people. All the contestants this season have been so much fun. I've loved doing the exit press. I am following all these people on Instagram and keeping up with all their lives like I know them in real life. Shout out to Nikki G, just posted his engagement pictures the other day. So yeah, this is gonna be great. Check it out here on RHAP, Deal or No Deal Island, the end of the Exit Press, and then yeah, whatever is coming next for Dondi.
Okay. Jenny, what's coming up next for you?
Well, the aforementioned the GOAT that Chappell and I also have started our coverage of here on the Hit or Quit feed. Check that out. We will be back later this week with episode 4 coverage. I believe that drops on Thursday on Amazon Freevee. And, you know, the MILFs are back in town. And they're in my town, essentially. The MILF Manor is back for season 2 in Canada, basically an hour away from where I grew up. It's absolutely bonkers. So Chappell and I believe, are going to join Puya to recap episode 3. So that should be hitting the 90 Day Fiance feed shortly. So that's been a fun time, and I'm sure we'll drag Rob back into the nonsense at some point. Because you can't stay away from the MILFs. You love a MILF.
Yeah.
You do love a MILF.
And so that's it.
Them.
And again, just want to thank everyone who I've communicated with and who's listened to the podcast and has said such nice, lovely things. It's really, really made this whole thing so fun. I loved the show and I loved covering it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, Jenny, great job. Fun to get through another show here on Hit or Quit. We did it. Chappell, what's coming up for you?
This. Just hanging out with Jenny, talking about the GOAT, talking about the MILFs, and then over on my own podcast, Recap Kickback, talk about whatever I want to talk about. It's been a great time. I recently broke down the Kendrick Lamar versus Drake beef, and you can check out that video podcast on our YouTube page, youtube.com/@recapkickback, and then you can keep up with all the rest of the coverage. Sasha and I are talking about Summer House Martha's Vineyard on Recap Kickback. Gia and I are talking about Abbott Elementary as we come up on the end of that season, and then weekly content coming from me as well on various other topics. So check that out and more, and follow me on all social media platforms at Recap Kickback.
All right. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us for Dondi.
Dondi.
And appreciate you. Love to read what you have to say in the comments. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.